What's up, campers? Miss Lexi here. For today, we are going to be doing a craft called Summer Camp Champs. All you need for this craft is a paper plate, some pieces of paper, and then something to color with. This can be markers, colored pencils, or crayons. Whatever you have will work. For this craft, you can do this in 3 different ways, depending on your age and whatever you're comfortable doing, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. I actually went ahead and did an example of a beginner modification. So instead of drawing out all 5 rings like you see in the written portion of the instructions, you can just make 1 ring using a paper plate. So you can color the outside of the ring whatever color you want. It doesn't have to be the colors of the actual Olympic rings. Again, it can be any color you want. And then in the middle, on the inside of the plate, you can write whatever quality or characteristic or talent that you may have that makes you you. So for example, mine says, make someone laugh. While I may not be the funniest person in the world, I do like to make someone laugh or at least smile every day. It's actually a daily goal of mine. Whoever I interact with, whether it be my friends, people I work with, or even family members, I like to at least make someone laugh or smile because you never know what they may be going through. So that is mine. Obviously, you don't have to do this exact replica. You can do whatever you want. If you're a good dancer, if you're a good singer, if you're funny, or maybe if you're good at playing sports, if you like to help maybe around the house, whatever it is that makes you unique, go ahead and write it in there. So that is a beginner modification. And now I'm going to go ahead and do the intermediate and advanced. Alright, so for both intermediate and advanced modifications, you are going to need a sheet of paper and then obviously your markers. For both modifications, you are going to draw out all 5 rings, and within each ring, you're going to write down a quality or characteristic. So first, for intermediate, you're going to take your sheet of paper and your markers and draw out all 5 rings. Now the colors of the actual Olympic rings are blue, yellow, black, green, and red. However, if you don't have those colors with you, no worries, just use whatever colors you have on hand. So I'm going to take my markers and I'm going to go ahead and draw out the rings and make them big enough to where you can actually write inside them. Alright, so there are my rings. Can't really see the yellow one, but they're all there. And now for the intermediate portion, you can write 5 different qualities or characteristics that you think Olympic champions, or just athletes in general, possess or show. So I'm going to write down 5 different characteristics that I think athletes have or possess. So, okay. So here I've written out 5 different characteristics. Hardworking, dedication, confidence, determination, and teamwork. Obviously, there's many more characteristics that athletes exhibit. These are just a few, and if you want, that you have other campers there with you, have each of them draw out their own set of rings, their own set of characteristics, and see which ones that maybe all of them have written down, and maybe explain why you think that is an important characteristic for athletes to have. So that is intermediate. And now I'm going to do advanced. Alright, so for advanced, we are going to do the exact same thing with our rings. We're going to draw them out the same way, starting with blue. And again, make them big enough to where you can write inside them. So again, there's all 5 of my rings. And for this one, instead of writing down characteristics or qualities that athletes have, this one is, I want you all to maybe think a little bit outside of the box a little bit. And think of some qualities or traits that we as individuals, whether we're playing sports or not, need to show every day. So, for example, being kind, respectful, helpful, those are just a few of the many characteristics that we need to show every day and what makes us champions. So I'm going to write down 5 things that I think makes a person a champion, whether they're playing sports or not. So I'm going to go ahead, take my marker, and then write down 5 different things. So here are my 5 qualities that I think everyone needs to show. Being kind, respectful, humble, helpful, and optimistic. Again, those are just a few of many, but this is just a way for you to think of, what we should be showing every day as individuals, and maybe while also as athletes as well, if we do play sports, but also as just individuals out in the world. So that is all for today's craft. I hope you all enjoy, and I will see you all next week.